Hi friends, welcome back to the channel, Fall Into Place. Today I was drawn to give a message that was surrounding the idea of the end of a cycle. I think certainly at this point where we're almost at the end of summer, right? I mean, this year has passed by so quickly. Um, and with the end of summer, going into fall, sorry, I think spring came to mind because it feels like we're at the end of a chapter in our lives where there's a lot coming to life. And it feels like we're almost in this slight hibernation stage where there's a certain part of us that's really coming into full bloom. I was debating on today if I should be making a video, but of course, I had this message that I really needed to share, and it kept coming through, right? End of a cycle, end of a cycle, end of a cycle. But it wasn't that end of a cycle that usually brings with it a lot of pain or a lot of suffering. It feels like at this point it's just the acceptance of who we truly are and this want to actually move forward. It's quite exciting, but it's in a very calm and very luscious state that we are currently moving towards. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, especially in a time where we're taught that, time is money, right? Like you have to always be go, go, go. You always have to be on to the next thing. And if you aren't, then you're failing. And we know that's not true, right? I know we're in a position where we are privileged enough to be sitting here and to be watching this video, right? Potentially in the safety of four warm walls. And I know that's not the case for everybody. But only take the messages here that resonate with you. And of course, discard the rest. But I truly feel that we are moving towards something that's a lot more aligned to who we are and where we want to go. Let's see what the cards have for us today. Dear guides, angels, ancestors, and those of the most positive, divine spirit may protect us during this time and only allow the messages that need to come through to come through. Only that of which what the collective needs to hear. Thank you, and so it is. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh. So we got strength. And it's funny because of the way this card is written, it almost looks like serenity, right? Serenity, quiet surrender, but holding your own power, holding your own divinity, abundance, strength, strength within your own body and your own self and your own decisions and towards your own path. And it's like you've truly tamed the tiger, right? You've tamed the wild beast within. And that must have taken quite a long time, right? And the beast within us can usually show up in so many different ways, right? Turbulent emotions, the disconnection between mind and body, right? And those are some of the toughest things that we can go through. Where you're in a state where you're conquering everything, right? It's like the first time you can truly see clearly into what it is that you want and who you are, right? And which path you want to go. But you're accepting it with grace. And there's such peace. So it's strength in one way, but definitely your heart is just so much imbalance and peace and acceptance in this feminine serenity state. That's beautiful. All right. Let's clarify the cards, right? And see if there's anything else that needs to come through. Is there anything else that you want to add to this message? Oh, and I have to say, this is my first ever tarot deck. I was just drawn to all of a sudden one day. Have always been very psychically attached and drawn to this deck of cards, even though it wasn't always the easiest deck to deal with. A lot of energy goes through with this one for me, and I've had to put it away sometimes. And if it actually called to me today, as well as our first deck. So we got here, and to clarify, this Queen of Wands in reverse. And as you know, I'm an intuitive reader. Yes. So I won't take things as just as literal. But what I'm getting from this is that the tough, it might sound really generic, but the tough times are over. Because when I think of Queen of Wands, I think about a lot of this fire energy, right? A lot of action. And it's just like, even my speech right now, it's like speeding up. I can feel it. And it's like, oh, go, 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 like passionate, like, but sometimes a little bit too much to a fault, right? Like I can feel this. It's like, wow, so much going on. But that's the opposite of this Empress energy that's already gone through all the forced action, right? And I'm not saying that during the times of forced action, it wasn't exciting, because at some degree, you have to enjoy what you're doing, right? You have to enjoy that chase. But there has been this pivot, this switch, right? And now it feels like we're letting go of this really like strong energy of like, oh, almost like aggressive in a sense. Now this energy is working against us. And we're moving in a state where we're allowing things to happen. We're allowing the things in our ships to come in, right? Where we're looking forward to the ships almost docking because we want to see what treasure, that they're bringing. And I do find, if you've noticed here, actually it blows my mind. I always say this. When you see these two cards, right? You see the Queen of Wands. I'm going to bring this closer so you can all see this. So here's the Queen of Wands. I hope my camera's in focus. And then here's the Strength card, right? Do you happen to see that there is a little cat at the base of this Queen of Wands feet? Yes? And then in the Strength card, there is this beautiful woman, right? This Empress energy, full of serenity and wisdom, and a sort of lightheartedness comes through. But there is this tiger, there's this lion, right? At the base of her feet. Oh, and if you notice in my past reading, we also got confirmation through our little friend barking. And again, it's coming through. So we see that there's this progression, there's this growth, right? From who we were to who we are now, and where it's very much in our power. And they're both, if you look at both cards from two different decks, all the same colors that come through. It's like the end of one chapter, end of one cycle, right? Where we thought was abundance. And it's not that it was anything bad. We were getting everything that we needed at that time, right? But it was only the beginning, right? And now we are transitioning, we're growing to the next phase. And you see there's even this evolution of both the women who are dressed in the same type of garments, right? Both were in their power in two different ways. And now there's also an evolution of perhaps what we deemed as strength, right? At what was strong. And we see both the little, the cat, right? The little kitten. And then we see the evolution of that kitten become itself a lion. So there has been so much growth and evolution in our path thus far. I want to say that almost as another message is coming through, is that back when we were in the Queen of Wands sort of phase in our life, right? We thought that we were illuminated in terms of our knowledge, right? There was a lot of enlightenment coming through from ourselves. There's a big part of the ego that was coming into play. However, now that we've transitioned into the Empress side of things, we see actually that there is, oh, pardon me. See, the card fell away, right? We are now holding on to this new way of being. And you will see closely that there is an infinity sign, right? Where the Empress's head is. So it's seeing that there's a lot more infinite potential, infinite opportunities, right? We're more objective, we're open to the new possibilities, ways of thinking that are coming through. And with an open mind, we're open to create in infinite amount of ways. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for this amazing message, right? And I hope this message reaches those of you who are watching and those of you who need this. You've done so much for yourself and you've grown so much. And I want to say that you have to take a moment, and I thank you for it, because we're all elevating, right, in this life. And it's just so beautiful where we're all going. I'm going to take one more card to clarify anything else that has to come through. And we'll see where Spirit wants to take us. So do we have any more messages that wants to come through for today? This is fantastic energy, such beautiful energy. Anything else, please, Spirit? Anything else? God, angels, protectors. Any messages that you want me to pass on? Just one card, please. If there's anything else, please just show one card. It's like I can feel there's something in here, right? Like it just wants to pop out, but it's like, meh. So maybe some of you are still in a little bit of resistance. Working through maybe the last bits, right, of your journey. Oof. Of your current journey. Wow. It's like when that X pops through, right, at the very end before you're just trying to move on. Maybe that might resonate with some of you. Okay, come on. Is there anything you want me to tell me? Is there anything I should be passing on? Oh, there we go. Of course. Maybe I wanted that X's reference. This is such a beautiful message, everyone. Look at this. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. Okay? Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Oh, I'm getting chills right now. And the funny thing is, before we start this, I wanted to film this video, I was drawn to this heavy quartz energy today. I shouldn't say heavy. It was this a lot of light energy. I felt drawn to wearing my Citrine, right? But more importantly, as you saw from my other video, I was holding onto a smoky quartz for our previous video. Today I'm holding onto this beautiful white quartz. I believe it's white quartz. I have this whole stone collection now, as I really need to find the name, but regardless, this is a lot of transformational energy, right? Very high frequency, very abundant. The fact that I'm wearing my Citrine and I'm very drawn to gemstones. You have Citrine, you have your white clear quartz, like it's happening, my friends, it's happening. And it's so luscious, right? Like it's even more abundant energy that's coming through. Look at all the greenery, look at all the water, look at this most fantastical, beautiful place that really truly is heaven created on earth. That you are creating, right? Because there's this idea of self-empowerment, of taking all the lessons that you've learned throughout all the previous years and coming to this point and bringing it all together. You've done that. And you can go so much further, right? Regardless of all the experiences, things you've gone through, now is your time to fully choose yourself and walk in the path of alignment, walk in the path that is right for you. That's beautiful, incredibly beautiful. And for those of you who are also into gemstones, Lemuria quartz, right? So we're so protected. There's ever flowing water, ever flowing life. So much magic. I'm being told to tell some of you that if you have a chance, we're in this transitional state of the seasons right now. If you can, just go out into nature. But I think there's one specific place that calls to some of you. Um, for those of you who live in Ontario, Canada, Bruce Peninsula is coming up for as a location. I know it's a little bit far if you live in the GTA and such, um, but I think there's one place that comes to mind for some of you that feels like that very safe and sacred place. You're being called to go and just take a day trip there so that it all comes into more alignment for you. All right. Well, thank you all for watching for today's reading and channel messages. I hope you were able to gather anything you may have needed in this reading. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, please click and subscribe. I can't wait to see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.